The death of Elisa Lam. Elisa Lam was a 21-year-old student from Canada, though she was of Chinese origin as her parents were immigrants from Hong Kong. She was a student at the University of British Columbia and in January 2013 went on a trip to Southern California. During her trip, she was alone and would often upload content of her trip on social media. On the 26th of January, she arrived in LA and checked into the Cecil Hotel, now named Stay on Main. She initially shared a room with others, but eventually moved to a room of her own. The hotel she was living in had some pretty dark links, as it was the house where the Black Dahlia, aka Elizabeth Short, was living before her brutal murder, and it was also the temporary residence of the notorious serial killer Richard Ramirez, their nickname Night Stalker. Elisa Lam was keeping contact with her family throughout her trip, but on January 31st, 2013, the day she was originally going to check out of the hotel and head for Santa Cruz, they did not hear from her, so they called the Los Angeles police, and they also flew to LA to help the search. A hotel staff claimed that she saw her that day being alone, while a manager of a nearby bookstore said that she was very outgoing, very lively, very friendly, and that she wanted to buy a book and gifts for her family. Police searched most of the hotel along with dogs, including the rooftop, but found nothing. A week afterwards, her image was posted around the neighborhood and online. Police released a disturbing video from a video surveillance camera inside an elevator on February 1st. The video showed Elisa entering the elevator and then clicking several buttons in order for it to start. The door remained open. Elisa then checked nervously from both sides of the hallway before getting back inside and leaning on the side. The elevator still didn't start. Elisa then seemingly cautiously checked the hallway of the hotel while exiting and re-entering the elevator to the point where view of her was lost or restricted. With the elevator still not moving, Elisa re-enters the elevator in a seemingly panicking way as she presses the buttons of the elevator presumably randomly and some more than once. As the elevator still doesn't operate, she exits it and in a weird manner starts waving her hands and appears to be talking to someone with her hands and her fingers outstretched while bowing forward slightly and rocking gently. Once view of her is lost, the elevator door finally shuts and the elevator functions again. Hotel guests started complaining about the water's taste, color, and smell, and eventually hotel staff went for the rooftop water tank, only to find the naked body of Elisa inside, with her clothes also in. Elisa's autopsy showed that she drowned, but the more investigators looked over this case, the more mysteries popped up. How and why did Elisa reach the rooftop, as only staff members had access? How and why did she reach for the water tank, as it was too big for her to not only reach, but also for her to get inside and close it with the lid? And more importantly, why was she acting so strange at the elevator that apparently never functioned until she was gone out of view? The autopsy didn't reveal any substances inside her that would cause her to act like that, although her parents claimed that she was prescribed drugs because she suffered from mental problems, bipolar disorder, and depression in particular. Perhaps that could explain her odd behavior and maybe the elevator randomly stuck, but again, it is extremely strange how she eventually killed herself and got access to both the rooftop and the water tank. There is little to no evidence of a crime, which brings us to the paranormal. One theory suggests that she was playing the elevator game, an urban legend from Korea that apparently takes you to another world. According to the game, you must visit a 10-story or more building and enter the elevator. After that, you must press the buttons in the following sequence: 1, then 4, then 2, then 6, then 2, then 10, then 5, and then 1. After pressing the first floor, you will be sent to the 10th floor, or the other world. From there, you will be transferred to the 5th floor, and a little ghost girl will appear that you are not allowed to touch, see, or talk to. Judging by the surveillance video, however, that doesn't seem to be the case. There is the possibility of a paranormal entity or a dark force possessing Elisa and causing her to act like that while leading her to her death. That could explain both the temporary elevator malfunction, Lam's unusual behavior, and her demise, but who knows? We may never find out what happened to her, and her death will certainly remain a pretty mysterious incident.